Hi, everybody. This is Lisa Haven, and I've got some information that I want to share with you about the United Nations. And I'm just going to show you images and on this particular topic. But it's United Nations builds an army to disarm America and basically take over the world. This is the real deal. And I'm going to show you through a series of images and a series of treasonous documents, if you will, put out by the UN on how that is happening. So let's go ahead and dive into our topic. Okay, first one I want to show you is a post that I put out on Monday, and it's got a document that I want to show you below. Okay, and I found this. Here's the official UN document, which states their plan of disarmament for a new world order. Let's zoom in this a little bit. Okay, so supposedly I Googled this on Snoops, and they are trying to claim that this is not the original document. Well, first of all, I don't agree with Snoops. They lie. They have been known to lie many times. And second of all, the document would have the same scan code if it was from the same information. But anyhow, this is legit. And it's got the UN information and whatnot. But the UN doesn't want you to know that. But here we go. Okay. The issue of military-grade weaponry in the hands of civilians looms ever larger in the face of the global implementation of 22 Agenda 21 by member nations. Now, Agenda 21 is the real deal. You can go and pull the document on that, and I'll try to leave a link for it. And one thing I want to apologize for in advance is I know this is kind of blurry because we're reading, a copy of it, but I will leave the post for this. Okay, in particular, the United States of America has an estimated 500 million weapons in the hands of the civilian population. And may I get an amen to that? This is not just a static problem. It is a massive dynamic problem for the process of confiscation, as there will be those who refuse to surrender their firearms. Yes, I will refuse. The conclusion of discussions by the CWCSG led to the adaptation of the proposed agenda to begin the process for introducing a member nations a framework by which they can begin. I think that's it's hard to read because it's blurry. Sorry, codification of national laws to disarm civilians within their borders through a keyword gradual process. But basically it kind of gets into that information here, and there's several things that need to be addressed. Classification of military grade weapons need to be made illegal. Let's stop right there. Currently, President Obama is attempting to sign an executive order that will limit our military grade weapons. There's one in the bag. Number two, creation of programs to provide reasonable compensation for voluntary surrender of said arms. So in other words, they're going to offer money for your guns. They have done that sporadically in towns, and praise God, there are some patriots who go and stand on the corner and offer more money for these weapons rather than what the government is giving. So sometimes it goes back into the hands of the government, but not the government, but the people, but they are running into a problem. Number three, codification of laws to begin the restricting and strict licensing of concealable firearms. That's already there. Codification of laws to begin the restricting and strict licensing of hunting grade firing arms. And now in a lot of states, you have to get a permit just to hunt. Number five, codification of laws to restrict the sale or possession of ammunition and components to manufacture ammunition. Number six, finally, codification of laws to completely make any and all firearms illegal to own, possess, or use outside of military and law enforcement. They are not there yet. They are on their way. Creation, and here's a big one, of the United Nations Police Task Force with a specific mission of assisting member nations with the collection of weaponry from civil hands. Now, I'm going to prove to you that number 7 is done from the UN website. And what upsets me is that things like Snoops, I can call it soup, but anyway, things like Snoop try to claim that this document is a falsified, yet I'm going to prove all of these are in the works. Some of them are obvious. Number 7 in particular, they recently have started the implementation of this. And that is a scary thought. But that just proves the validity of this document. So let's check that out. All right, here we are. This proves number 7 on my document. If that was a fake, then why are they putting job opportunities for this? It's not. And I went and looked on Snoops, and it had the same scan number as that one. Usually means it comes from the same page document, not that it's different. Anyhow, you can see we're on the UN, the job, and things like that. You can go to the link. I'll also leave another link. And I've shared this before, but United Nations career job or openings, position, disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration officer. This is what they are doing. And where is the duty station? New York. Hello, that means they're hiring in New York. That means they're hiring American people. Okay, so this proves number 7. What was number 7? That they need to hire disarmament, demobilization, and reintegration officers. And here is the fulfillment of number 7. If this wasn't the case, then why have it as a job? You wouldn't. And that's what you need to remember. Okay? All right, next, we're going to dive in the UN and who is working for the UN and where is their military coming from. As you can see here, United Nations. This blue right here signifies the UN and this patch here. Now, all of them are going to be from different countries, but I'm going to show you tons of pictures. Okay, here's another one. Indian soldiers return from UN peacekeeping duties. Here they are. They've got their little Indian garb on. They're Indian soldiers, and yet here they are, peacekeeping for the United Nations. And this was on The Guardian, as you can see. Okay, so what I want you to recognize through these pictures is the formation of a world army that I don't believe any of us signed on for. Okay, here are some more. Here are some more UN military men, obviously from various countries. Okay, here's some more. These are from the Philippines. As you can see, they have their thing here, Filipino United Nations peacekeepers. Okay, you see that? Various countries. Here we have Chinese men with their patch and their UN patch. Here's some more Chinese men, tons of them. Here's their Chinese logo and then their UN logo. Here's some soldiers in Africa getting their UN garb. Okay, and here's your United States UN. You can see the flag right here, the US flag, and your UN hat up here. Here is your China with your UN. Again, America, the flag with the UN hat. And again, here's some more. I could literally show you hundreds to thousands of these photos of the UN military from various countries, from various places. Here in America, you can see their flags. They're all over, and we need to pay attention. There is a world army forming. Now, they try to say that there is no such thing as a new world order, yet this is exactly what the UN is doing. They are forming an army. And let me just show you some of the vehicles they have now. All right, here's their tanks. Many people across America have noticed these UN, tanks, if you will, or MRAPs, whatever there are MRAPs too. These aren't, obviously, but these tanks driving across America and other military-grade vehicles. What on earth do they need them for if not to fight some kind of global war or enforce some kind of something or another? Here's another one, and another. And another, and another. And here's their MRAPs. These are basically for some kind of, domestic use against civilians. But why? And my question is, who's funding all this? Who is funding all this? But the only thing that these are for are against, citizens within the country or, whatever country. This is an enforcement. Anyhow, let's go ahead and check out one last document. Okay, now this is the 50th anniversary of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, and this is found on the UN.org, and I will leave a link. But But basically, this is like their what they attempt to do. They attempt to keep peace, and most of this is fairly decent in its verbiage, and I didn't have too many issues with it. But there was one article, Article 3, right here, which I'm going to show you. And this is what they claim they try to enforce. And basically, all these articles are about rights to human, rights to keep people free, rights of spirit, of religion, rights of political views, and that's great so far. But yet, this does not seem to matter one hill of beans to the UN, because they're stocking up in military grade vehicles. Building a world army, and if you claim to build a world army for the purposes of freedom, then it better be about freedom. But not once has what they have done been fully, about that, without an alternative motive or agenda. But Article 3 has me a little worried. It says everyone has the right to life, great, liberty, great, and security of person. That's a little concerning. What exactly do they mean by security of person? That could go 100 different ways. And I have to just question that. Now, also later in this article, they have some good stuff. No one shall be a slave. Great. That's a good thing. No one should be subject to torture. Great. But yet they still do that and keep, tabs on us. They also talk about no one should be, detained. Let me find that section. Okay, there it is. Article 9, no one shall be subjected to arbitrary arrest, detention, or exile. If number 9 were actually true, then why are we building FEMA camps and RX-84 centers? It doesn't make any sense. This is a contradictive statement. So my ploy is that most of what's written in here is to make one feel good, if you will, or this is not a law. This is not in effect. It's kind of like a statue of things to live by, articles to live by for the UN, if you will. And so they claim to do this. Does not mean that they necessarily will. And I will suggest that actions speak a heck of a lot louder than any words on paper. And in my opinion, we need to take their actions seriously and understand that they are building a world army. There is no other point for the United Nations to be around other than the formation of a new world order. And you guys hear that a lot from me, but it's a biblical principle. Every tribe, tongue, and nation will serve the Antichrist, will be under the Antichrist at some point. And there will be a coming new world order. And one thing that a lot of people tend to tell me, oh, the Illuminati wrote the Bible, blah, blah, blah. That's not the case. You see, the Bible is fully against the New World Order, fully against any plans of the Illuminati. And if that were the case, then that's kind of dumb, for lack of a better word, because they wouldn't write something that is against them, if that makes sense. Anyhow, that being said, I just want to get that point kind of on a side note. God tells us that the New World Order is coming in the Bible. At least, that's what I gather from it. And we need to be aware. And the UN has a ton of earmarks to accomplish this. How it will be done, only time will tell. But they definitely can get the formation of the New World the New World Order. They've already got the army for the New World Order. They've already got the military grade vehicles and the weaponry for the New World Order. All we need is some kind of crisis to make the world unite. Be it what it may, who knows, only time will tell, but I do know that an economic collapse is coming. Anyhow, this is Lisa Haven. I'm going to make this one shorter, so I hope you guys have a blessed day, but remember, the UN is building an army, and we need to wake up, America. This is Lisa Haven signing off.